What's going on, guys? So today's video is pretty simple. I see everybody on my timeline going crazy because their portfolios are down 50, 60, 70%. Crypto's down 10 to 15, but their portfolios are totally obliterated. People that are going through this for the first time are worried. People that are going through this not for the first time, maybe have forgotten some important strategies to minimize their losses. So today's video is simple. 3 key tips to minimize your losses during a crypto pullback, because you probably do not want to end up being like this guy right here that is very mad that the crypto is going down and that his portfolio is being obliterated. Some of these tips may be already known to you, but it's a fresh reminder and just a good time to go over them again for all the people that are experiencing, loss of their portfolio right now. And even if not, it's still good to refresh your memory and see what is going on. So my number 1 tip, or just the first tip, all of them are important. There's no order to them, just random order. So number 1 is do not hold on to your losers. They will become irrelevant. This is a very important tip to remember and to go over your portfolio, analyze all the tokens you're holding, and see which tokens you think have long-term narratives and which ones are short-term. So for example, tokens like GOAT, tokens like Fartcoin, AI16Z, these are long-term. This is the narrative of the super cycle, backed by the best VCs, backed by great teams, utility, and just worldwide narrative. Everybody is buying NVIDIA, AI is going crazy. So if you're holding on to anything that has to do with AI, most likely than not, once the market turns around, they will turn around as well because it's long term. Now, a good example of a short term narrative would be something like Seals right here. Seals ready to crack Pengu's, whatever, I don't remember the rest of the name. But why is this a short term narrative? Because it was a beta play to the release of Pengu token by Pudgy Penguins. Everybody was excited for it. Everybody was getting an airdrop. Everybody came to the market, so all these beta plays have emerged. They went up. This one went up to 5 million on all the hype, like 3 days ago, whenever it was dropped. But it has been dipping ever since. And right now, when the market is cold, it's gonna continue dipping. Pengu narrative is kind of over. People already claimed their airdrops. Most people sold them, moved on, and now we're playing with new narratives. So that's number 1. Number 2, the market is dipping. Nobody is going to be buying the Seals token because the narrative is old, the market is dipping. So if you're holding this just because you think you're down right now and the market is going to turn around and all of a sudden this is going to go to all-time highs, well, most likely not. Everything is possible. Everything happens in this life. But, I can bet that this is not going to turn around, and this is the type of token that is very risky to hold during this phase of the market, because you're risking, like right now, nobody's going to be buying it. If, the market is cold for the next 10 days, there's a high chance that the team is just going to abandon this token because there's not going to be any buyers, at least until the market turns around. We don't know when that's going to happen. So running this token for 10 more days without any buy pressure is pretty hard for any team. They might just abandon it, move on, and find a better opportunity for when the market turns around. So analyze your portfolio, look at the tokens that have short-term narratives, and it's best not to hold on to them during a market trend like this. Then number 2, undervalued narratives. I hear this all the time. People shilling to me, tokens that are sitting at 200K market cap for 2 weeks, and they're saying, the narrative is so good, it's just so undervalued. We just need for people to notice it, and then we're going to fly to the moon. Well, the market has been going crazy for the last 2 weeks. No one has noticed your narrative. Do you think something is going to change during the next 10 days of the cold market? No, nothing is going to change. So by holding on to this narrative, you're just risking the fact that devs might abandon it because, for another 10 days, it's 100% that no one's going to be buying it. This market cap that it's sitting at is going to be slowly dipping because crypto is going down. People are slowly selling. There might be even a big sell-off. So you're better off selling the undervalued narrative for now And when the market turns around, if it's still alive and if you still believe and have convictions in it, you buy it back, but do not hold it right now. Holding it is the dangerous part. And the last is charts that keep dipping or kept dipping before the market went cold. So there are a lot of charts, they went to all-time highs and then they have, a cool down period for a week, 2 weeks. It's just, slowly and slowly dipping and dipping and dipping. Well, nothing is going to change in the next 10 days. The market is going down 10%, 5% every single day. There's no buy pressure in sight. So the best thing for you to do is either take an L on it for now, or take profits on it for now, and then wait for the market to turn around. If it's still alive, that's when you jump back in. Most likely what's going to happen is for the next couple of days, it's going to continue dipping and you just buy in lower. So you're going to end up making more profit. Or what might happen is it keeps dipping, the market turns around, you're slipping, the chart starts going back up, and then you enter back pretty much where you exited. So your only loss is like a couple of dollars of fees for buying, selling and buying back in. But at least you're not risking the fact that once again, because it keeps dipping and there's no buy pressure, the team is going to abandon it, or the narrative becomes irrelevant, and you just, hold it to zero. Instead of holding it to zero, sell it during a cold market phase and buy back in when the market turns around and if the coin is still relevant. So that's number one. Then we have number two. In preparation for these situations, do not hold everything in Solana. Stable up whatever you're not trading. So here you have to ask yourself, who are you and what is your main edge as a trader? If I ask that of myself, I know that my main edge is that I'm good at trading meme coins, I'm good at finding narratives and trends. So whenever I hold my whole portfolio in Solana, if my portfolio is $20,000 and that's what I trade with, if Solana goes up, 10% in a week, that's a nice bonus. But if Solana dips 10%, that's a pretty big hit on my portfolio. From 20,000 it goes down to 18. I just lost $2,000 that I could put into meme coins and actually make profits. And 10%, making 10% because Solana went up 10% is nothing for me. I can make 10% to my portfolio in 10 minutes on a good day. So do not hold everything in Solana. If your main edge and what you're good at is just creating meme coins and finding narratives, you want to keep most of your money stabled up and only trade meme coins. You focus on that. So most bots, you can't really exchange the stable coins on them because they take 1% of your trading fee. So just export your wallet from your Trojan, Pullbacks, on whatever you're using, import it into Phantom, go to Jupiter, and exchange your Solana to stable coins. Whenever you want to trade or you need some money, exchange it back to Solana. You're not going to be losing anything on Jupiter, maybe $1 or $2 of fees. But if your portfolio is big, when Solana goes down 10%, you're going to lose way more than you lose every time you exchange $1. Probably less. You can use very low fees there. You can use 20 cents. So that's another thing to remember, and that's number two. And number three, one of the most important skills is to know when not to trade. So during these phases, touch grass. As a trader, a big edge for you is knowing when to trade. You want to trade on EV positive days. So when the market is hot, when there was a significant market surge, Bitcoin is up 10%. Ethereum, Solana, everybody is happy. Everybody's trading, coins are flying left and right. That's when you can make a lot of money. When there's a hype launch like Pengu, a lot of people weren't in the trenches before that, but they come to trade crypto on that day. They come to the trenches on that day because there's, something to look forward to. All the people are getting airdrops and they're selling it and, shooting that money into other meme coins. And then just overall high volume days. I find those pretty often in the trading groups that I'm in. Now there's bots that track every single call that anybody drops in a group. So, I call a meme coin and it tells, I can ask for a PNL. It's going to say exactly when I drop the contract address into the group, how much it's up since then. You can ask for leaderboards so you can see, for today, how many calls were profitable, how many were not. And some days I can see, you know, top 10 calls are like 10x, 20, 50, 100x's. Really good days. And some days I ask for leaderboards and I see that, you know, the best calls were like 2, 3, 4x. That's low volume days. You don't want to trade on those. What you have to remember is the compounding effect. So you can, you know, go ahead and trade on days like these when everything is cold. You can gamble. Yeah, you can see people posting P&Ls on Twitter, how they made 50, 100x on a meme coin. Every day that's going to happen, because every day somebody is going to get lucky. Somebody's going to get their 100x, but it does not mean that 98% of other people haven't lost money. So you can trade every single day trying to, you know, run after 100x. You're probably going to be losing a lot of money, and at the end, you're just going to break even. Or you can trade 4 days out of the month that are, you know, one day there was a market surge, everything is up, everybody's active. One day there was a hyped launch. And then, you know, say you make 3x to your portfolio on every best day of the month to trade. Well, 4 days, 3x times 4 is 81x. You know, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. You're going to end up making 81x if all you do is come on the best possible day of the month to trade, and you just make 3x to your portfolio. You don't have to chase 50x's, you don't have to chase 100x's, you don't have to gamble and pump fund buying those coins at 5k market cap just to, you know, hit your targets. All you do is you sit on your hands, and then you see that today, you know, the day is super great. There's a market surge, there's a hyped launch, everybody's going to be trading today. I will come in, I'll make my 3x, and then I'll sit on my hands for another week, and then I come in, make 3x, and then at the end of the month, you're up 80x. Remember the compounding effect. Remember that you need to look for positive EV days. And that's pretty much the 3 tips that came to my mind today. There's many more that you should remember. There's a lot of nuances, as always, but I think these 3 are the important ones to remember. And I hope this was helpful. I hope your journey will become better after this. If you liked the video, don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.